was going to see you.
We are live.
Hi. Say hi. Okay, well, don't.
Hi, everyone. This is Pepper and Crystal from Blogging Tidbits. And we have a mini co-host today. Can everybody say hi to Ziva? Ziva, say hi.
Say hi. Say hi to everybody. Typical 3-year-old behavior.
Yeah, now she's shy. She was telling me all about her little owies earlier. So she will probably talk during our hangout. That's kind of life as a mom, as a blogger, is you have to figure out how to make things work, and that's how we're going to make it work, and I think it'll be fun. So Crystal has a fun announcement for us.
Okay, Kim from the Hypertufa Gardener, we were a little harsh on her on the last hangout because her site, we saw so much potential and we saw where it could go, and that's the reason why we were so tough. It's a case of tough love, and if you're a parent, you know what we're talking about. So, and I wanted you to go take the time to go check out her new site. Well, it's not really new, but she's updated it and she's done some remarkable changes. I've added the link into the chat in the section. It should be showing up now because I just added it. So please make certain that you go check out her site because she's done a remarkable job on changing it.
So today, one other announcement today is I wanted to talk about the Blogging Tidbits group. Everybody's been kind of sharing their stats with us, just a few of you, and I was looking through those the other day, and I just wanted to let you know that I was so happy to see that like a lot of you actually even doubled your stats. You had amazing stats this month. And you guys have all been doing really hard, working hard with the challenges, and you can see that it is benefiting you. So we're very excited about that because we're hoping to help you, and that shows us that we're helping you. So if you see when we ask for your stats, that's one of the reasons we're asking for it, is we really just want to see that what we're sharing is making a difference for you guys. And we do love when you do shout outs and you say, hey, this has been such an awesome month and these challenges are really helping, because that just encourages us and gives us that juice to just keep going. So definitely share that. And then if you have friends that you think that Blogging Tidbits would help, remember we're invitation only right now, but we really need to get those invitations up. If we get to a certain number of invitations to go out, we will be sending them out. So make sure and invite your friends to join Blogging Tidbits. They can go to bloggingtidbits.com and check it out and see the benefits and ask for an invitation for it. And so that's how you can get your friends to join the group. And I think we have kind of a set number that we're hoping to get so that we can have a group join us. So today we are talking about defining your topics and your niche. So this month has been all about branding, and a big thing of branding is niche. And okay, so I'm gonna say, guys, you can pronounce it 2 different ways. It can be niche or niche. How do you pronounce it, Crystal?
Niche.
Niche. Okay. So you can pronounce it 2 different ways, and I pronounce it niche also. So when you're hearing me, I'm gonna call it niche. So a big part of branding is to really define your topics and your niche. So that's what we're going to be talking about this hangout, and I hope it really helps you. If it helps you, also remember you can share this with your friends. They're welcome to join our hangouts on air and watching us. So we actually love it if you invite them. So should we talk about top blogging niches?
Yes, that would be a good idea to start. The top blogging niches for blogging right now is fashion, food, beauty, travel, and music. Music kind of threw me off. I wasn't expecting that one to be a top niche, but it is, and that's really neat.
Yes, and niche blogging really is about really figuring out what your passion is and blogging about it. But the issue that, like, if you notice, neither Crystal and I are niche bloggers. I have been a niche blogger in the past, and it actually just kind of happened upon me. But I'll tell you, I'll probably share my story about it in a little bit. But it basically goes down to what happens when you lose your passion for your niche. So, you know, I think that might be one of the big things that's a big change in blogging right now, is that I see so many bloggers that have really hard to find niches, and they're doing great at them, but you see them start to struggle, and I think it's because they lost their passion, and that's kind of what happened to me. So I was very anti-niche for years and years and years because of my old school blogging ideals. And then suddenly it kind of came upon me that I became a food niche blogger. And I didn't even realize it until I had a company say, our product doesn't work for you because you're a food blogger. And I was like, oh, I kind of am a food blogger. And it did really help my numbers, but I'll tell you what happened. I now hate cooking. I hate food. I started like having actual issues with food because I was doing so much talking of food on my blog, and my blog started kind of degrading because I was losing that passion. Have you seen that with some bloggers, Crystal?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time. I mean, just like me, I started out wanting to do marriage tips and stuff like that, and granted, my marriage is still strong, but I ran out of topics. I ran out of things to say without being a broken record. And I think that's another thing that happens when you're in a niche blogging. There's only so many things you can talk about. There's only so many things you can say.
Yeah.
And that's where I think it's hard to be a niche blogger. I think that's really, really hard. But yet, they are the ones that do get the most money. They do get the most traffic. They get that. And it makes a difference. But once a person uses up what they need from that blogger or from that resource, there's no reason to go back.
I almost feel like it might be kind of a trend that's dying.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's definitely dying.
This trend of everyone had to have a niche. Everyone had to be really strong in their niche. But I see more and more bloggers going to lifestyle blogging. And I feel like they all burn themselves out. And if they're not changing their blog, what I am seeing is a lot of those bloggers are complaining that they're not getting the traffic that they used to.
No, because there's a wider competition out there of all of us lifestyle bloggers that cover all these different topics. So we're meeting the needs of all these readers for different categories all at one time.
Yes. And I feel like there's like this, everybody's kind of switching over to lifestyle blogging, but it's still, they're staying more consistent in that lifestyle blogging than they did pre-niche.
Yeah.
And that is something that you have to kind of look at, is when you're expanding that niche, you still need to have an overlying topic.
Like we were talking about my blog, I've been blogging for 3.5 years, and I've never once come close to niching on my blog. I've wanted to do it. I've considered doing it a couple times, but I'm interested in so many different things. So we were sitting there looking at my blog and choosing 5 words as a tribe. Well, we finally got the overall theme being family, because that is what my blog is primarily about, is family. I mean, we have the whole family writing on the blog in some form or fashion. So that makes it finally work, but it took us a long time to get there.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what you have to do. So lifestyle blogging basically is blogging about your life and your interests. So, but that can get really kind of crazy, because, I mean, you have tons of interests and blogging and stuff, and so you have to figure out an overlying topic. Part of lifestyle blogging is basically showing how you're balancing your life. A lot of people, I think, are looking for that now. They feel overwhelmed with their life, and I think they want to look at other people and see how they're balancing that life. So they want to see how you're balancing your kids and your crafts and your food and your entertainment and your traveling. But not every blogger is going to be into crafts. But not every reader is going to be into crafts either, right?
That's true.
So, because my goal with my crafts, just so you know, so I'm adding crafts, but I don't want to be like crazy craft mom, because I think that's overwhelming to a lot of moms, right?
Definitely.
been a
Because
huge
I am not a
fight.
crafter. The only reason crafts ended up on my blog is because my mother-in-law loves crafts and she wanted to review products. So she jumped onto the crafting blog.
Yeah, and so I do crafts, but my goal is to show moms that you don't have to be the Pinterest mom that everybody like hates. I am the Pinterest mom, just so you know. I am totally the Pinterest mom. So when everyone's like, I hate the Pinterest mom, that's honestly my personality. But I want to show my readers how they can be kind of the Pinterest mom without it being overwhelming and balancing it. So being the healthy Pinterest mom. So I switched my blog from just food health to being healthy family. So learning how to balance things like adding crafts for your kids, how to add simple crafts so that your kids, so that you feel like you're doing well, giving them something fun to do, but it's not overwhelming to you like the whole Pinterest fail thing. So let's see. Looking through my notes. Oh, we talked about our overlying themes. So when you are working on your blog, you should have really defined topics. And I went to the Disney Social Moms meet yesterday, and that was the overall talk was basically being true to yourself, being true to your brand. And so if you want some really good information on branding and really finding like some niche and how to stay true to yourself, definitely find me on Twitter and Instagram, Unicorn Beauty on Twitter and Instagram, because you'll see I shared all the slides and stuff, and it was an amazing talk to go to. It's one of the reasons I highly recommend going to a conference, is some of them will give you some great information.
And there was a lot of great different tips that were posted on that Twitter hashtag that you shared yesterday.
Yeah, so the hashtag, if you want to go through everyone's notes, was Disney SMMC. Look through there, and I believe they're going to multiple states this week. And so there'll be even more stuff. So you want to define those topics, right? And you want to have that overlying theme over the topic. So when something comes to you, you want to say, does that really fit into your topics? And I know you've struggled with that, right, Crystal?
Oh gosh, have I? That has been a huge struggle. But I mean, mine's mainly because my husband and my mother-in-law, they want to have their little piece of the pie, and they want to share what they want to share as well. And I'm like, well, that doesn't go with what I was trying to make happen. So that's part of it. But the other part is, like I said, I didn't know where I was headed or what I wanted to do. But now I think we have a general overall consensus of what we want to do, which is the first time in 3 years. So, but that's something that every blogger needs to decide. What's your overall theme going to be? What are you mainly going to be interested in writing about and sharing?
Yeah, and it has to be something that you're passionate about. People see your passion, and I think that's what's happening to those niche bloggers that are dying, is they're losing that passion, and the readers can see it. They can feel it. They're either going two directions. They either are losing their passion, they're not blogging as much, or you can feel it in their blog that they are doing, that they're tired, or they're taking another direction, which a lot of them are going, and they're doing the whole VA thing, and they're hiring VAs and guest bloggers to go and post on their blog, which is not a bad thing. But the problem is that if you're not consistent on your blog as well, I think their blogs are losing their voice.
That's true.
Because really people are trying to follow your voice. And that's another thing you need to brand around, is your voice. I definitely do that. That is actually my goal. One of the reasons I do that, I don't know if I mentioned this, Crystal, one of the reasons I actually brand around my voice is, if you haven't noticed, I don't have like pepper scraps as my handle over everything. And that's because I'm such an old school blogger. I have this handle of Unicorn Beauty, and I've had it for, since 1997. And I'm just not willing to let go of it. Sorry. Just so I can tighten up my niche. So a lot of my branding is around my personality, around being the crazy mom with the pink hair who has geeky kids, geeky family, and things like that. So let's see. So the question really comes down to, you need to define those topics. Now, if you become passionate about something else, you want to make sure, you need to figure out, how do you fit that in, and can you fit it in? Like you were talking about that you're doing a lot more entertainment.
I have been doing a lot more entertainment. It seems like I'm talking more about TV and shows and Netflix shows because we are part of the Netflix stream team. But I've also been doing a lot of more movie reviews and book reviews, and we got some video game reviews coming up. So, I mean, we're really going into that entertainment world. And I guess it's probably because summer's here, so we're really thinking about all these entertainments of ways to keep everybody happy throughout the hot summer and the stormy, rainy days that we have here in the South every summer. So that could be why it's heavily happening right now, but it's always been our passion. We've always loved the entertainment world. So I know that we'll always be there.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a good example, like how when life changes, you can change it with your blog too.
Right.
And everybody has those changes, and I think they're really hard. Like when your family has a big change, like I went from the whole having my kids home to them going to school. That was a big change. So I tried sharing the stuff that helped me through it. And I think there's readers out there who want that. But like yours is more easy. Yours is like more like, okay, so our kids are getting older and we're getting more into doing entertainment stuff together. So how do you fit that into your family? So I'm gonna stop real quick. I want to say, guys, if you're watching, make sure you ask questions because we'd love to answer your questions. If you have questions about blogging, niches, if you want us to help you like define your 5 words for your blog, or if you feel like you have more than 5 words, we can look at that and see if we can help you see what the overlying passion is. So I'm actually going to also look through, I want to look through some of my notes from the social media thing that I went to yesterday, because we're actually getting really through our stuff fast. So it may either be a really short show, which is okay, you know, or I'll find more interesting stuff to share with you. Let's see. So when you find that other topic that you're starting to become passionate about and you're needing to try and figure out if you want to write about it, you need to really look and see if it fits over your overlying niche, your definition of what you want to blog, and you need to see if it works. But if you already have a lot of topics on your blog, then you need to figure out what is it going to replace on your blog. And sometimes you need to let your readers know that you're doing a switch. Sometimes you can just do it, and they may not even notice. Have you done that before, Crystal, where you had to take out some subjects?
Yeah, I've recently taken off the blogging tidbits, the blogging posts that I've done, because I want all the blogging tips that I have available that I know that I use constantly, and also that I'm finding to go towards the blogging tidbits group. So I don't really do blogging tips posts anymore because of that reason. I mean, they're still the topics are still there. My love for it is still there, but I've shifted to somewhere else. And again, like I mentioned, I don't do a whole lot of marriage posts anymore because I ran out of things to talk about in that area. I mean, I still do it once in a blue moon, but not like I used to.
So when you stop blogging about that subject, how do you handle that on your blog?
Well, in my particular case, I sent out my notification in my newsletter. And I've also, in the last post that I wrote, I mentioned that we were doing the blogging tidbits group and stuff like that.
Okay, so you did let your readers know that you weren't going to be blogging about that as much.
Right.
But you kept all the content on your blog, correct?
Yes. All my content is still there, and it's all on a landing page. And then it leads you from that topic to the blogging tidbits group. So.
Yeah. And that's kind of one option that you could do is you can create a landing page, which basically that's a page that has that whole subject, like all the posts that you've done on that subject, because that's still great content and people still want to read it. So I wouldn't necessarily get rid of it from your blog. I would keep it unless you've changed your overlying theme completely. Like we know a blogger that has kind of a wine theme to their blog, right? Should we talk about that?
No.
Okay. But I mean, like, so if you have an overlying theme and you start doing a contrast to it, then you may need to consider taking that old content off, right? You need to figure out if it's going to be, you know, you're going to be talking about something that's the opposite, then you do need to switch it over to, you know, you need to figure out what you're going to do with that content. We've had a lot of people ask us about having 2 blogs. We've had that people ask us at least twice, right? Oh, I think
yes.
Yeah,
I was reading comments. I'm sorry. Because we had Stacy Flower ask a question. I'm still not understanding niche and lifestyle in some ways. Don't some naturally overlap? Apparently some think of me as the allergy mom, which makes sense, but a lot of allergy mom websites are thought of as niche allergy, but they're truly lifestyle. Okay, I guess a good way to give you an example would be to talk about our tribe mate's House Caboodle Sue's website. She talks about houses. Everything on her site is in relation to houses, from house designs to houses that are owned by celebrities. It's all houses. Everything you think about, when you think about her site, it's nothing but houses. But if you were to go to another site that talked about houses and making homes better or whatever, it would still have home and family and other kinds of posts. So that's where it becomes a lifestyle post, blog. Am I right, Pepper? Am I explaining it right? Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, basically you have some bloggers out there that all they talk about is food. They will not post about anything else but food. Now that those posts may actually have some, like some food bloggers do like talk about life in those posts, but almost every single post they have has a recipe.
That's like Pioneer Woman.
Yes. And well, actually, she's a lifestyle blogger now, isn't she? She talks about a lot of different things now.
Now she does, yes. Ever since she started her show, but prior to that, it was just straight recipes.
Yeah, and there's a great example of somebody who went from a niche blogger to a lifestyle blogger, right?
Yeah.
So another one would be crafters. So some bloggers, all they blog is crafts. And so they're very, like, every single post that they do will have a craft in it. They don't deviate from that at all. And a lot of blogging experts will tell you that is the way to grow your following. But you've got to realize at some point you start losing, you don't have any more ideas. You've gotten tired of crafting, then you have to figure out what are you going to do with that blog now.
And most of the time you end up having to sell that blog and start all over completely.
Yes, some people do, sell their blog and then move on. Which then who knows what happens to that blog.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but I don't want to have to start over 10,000 times again. I mean, granted, I know more this time and I might do better than I did the previous time, but to sit here and say I want to do that again, no.
Yeah, those would be my tips. The things that I do not recommend, that are incredibly hard, is one, starting over. A lot of bloggers don't realize how hard it is because they forgot how hard it is. I don't recommend starting over. I don't recommend having 2 blogs.
No, I definitely don't either. I tried that for a short period of time because of Adele wanting his input and putting in topics that didn't have anything to do with what I was writing about. But then we ended up finding a way to make it work together. But at the time, there was no way of making it work.
Yeah, I know that some people were considering having 2 blogs, and I'll tell you, it is incredibly hard. And I have not met a blogger yet who did it well.
Yeah,
you know what?
Always
Pro blogger.
Yeah.
he has to, but he also makes buco bucks. And
he can hire plenty of VAs.
He hires VAs, yes. And if you've ever looked at ProBlogger, it's mainly guest posts.
Yeah.
So I do not recommend doing 2 blogs. I've tried it. I had the Android Family blog, and I had the Pepper Scraps blog at the same time. And I did good for about a year, but then I got burned out on the whole Android blog, and it was incredibly hard to balance it because basically you got to remember that you have to have content on both. So if your goal is to have 3 blog posts on each blog a week, you've now doubled your work. And then you have to go into all the social media. So having 2 blogs, having 2 blogs is double the work.
And having 1 blog is a lot of work, especially if you're doing it the right way.
Yeah. I'm not seeing the comments, so let me know if you see any more comments. Oh, there, now I see them. Oh no, we lost Crystal. Hopefully she'll be coming back in. So actually now I see the correct comments. Stacy, let us know if that answered your question. And then let's look here at Carol Ann.
She just made a comment.
Yes. I thought there was a way for me to feature that. You see
She
it?
said she made good points. I don't know how to feature it.
So she was also saying that how she does her blog is she works with her specific categories and she sees how they fit. Now here's another way that I don't remember if I was watching a Periscope or somebody was talking about, like, if you have a company come to you about a product and you're really interested in the product, but you don't feel like it fits in your niche, then you have to look at it and go, is there a way for me to fit it into my niche? Because you may actually be surprised. How can you spin this so it actually talks to the people that you're talking to? So you do have to define your audience too.
Oh, I've done that many times. I can't even begin to tell you the amount of times I've done that. When you first joined the tribe, I was struggling with the blog post like that. Remember?
Yeah, how to spin it. Lots of bloggers spin it. If you spin it right, though, and I would say if you have to spend more than like a week figuring out how to spin it, then maybe it's not gonna fit, right?
Yeah.
But if they pitch you and you sit there and you think for maybe an hour, or I would say half an hour, and you go, this reminds me of a story of,
Mm-hmm.
and it fits within your thing. So let's say, so you do family blogging, and what would be wedding rings, right?
Yeah.
That would fit under family. Well, what would be something that would be kind of hard to fit under family?
For me, it's really hard to find something that doesn't fit under family.
Right? Okay.
Unless it's adult content, then yeah, that definitely doesn't fit.
Okay, never mind. We should have thought of this example beforehand.
Yes, because you know me, I'll go everywhere.
I hope you guys are having fun watching us. We're having fun. But there are, if you can think of a story that it reminds you of, like, for Crystal, it'd be like tires. Okay, let's imagine somebody pitched you for tires, right? You're like, tires? How does that fit under family? Huh?
Getting prepared for traveling.
Yes! See? That fits. So there are things that you can still spin. So if you want to share a story that happened and it's not quite in your niche, if you can spin it that it does fit in your niche, go for it. It's actually kind of a fun test of your skills.
I love it. I love doing those kind of things. But that's just
I do too. I like looking at some products and going, okay, how does that fit under my niche?
Yeah, because I really want that. I really need that. Don't you know I need that vacuum? Or I need.
Oh, I have a good example. So I was looking at, I saw a pitch for a company that was wanting to do swimming suits, right? I don't talk about kids' clothing on my blog. So how would I look at doing kids' swimming suits? Well, Healthy Family is talking about how to keep your kids active during summer. And so I would talk about, hey, this is what I'm going to be working on for my kids to be healthy this summer. One of the things we're working on is making sure that they can swim. And so I could even do it as, here's the items that you're going to need for swimming lessons. So you need swimming trunks. So where should you go get those swimming trunks? And then I can talk about that product that I tried and say, okay, I really like this product. So that's a good example of how you can spin a product that you don't necessarily feel like it's in your niche when you first see it into your niche. So let's see, we did have a question. Oh, did we talk about how to merge two blogs?
No, you didn't talk about how to merge them. You just said don't do it.
I said don't have two blogs, yes. So what happens if you happen to have two blogs, which I had two blogs last year, and I really wanted to keep one of them because I was getting really good traffic from the Android family. People really liked that content. So I did merge it into Pepper Scraps. So basically you have two options. You can either teach yourself how to merge two blogs with WordPress, or you can hire someone to merge those two blogs. It's very easy with WordPress to merge them. It took me maybe an hour to merge them. And then I also worked on how to merge the topics. So I added a category that was talking about Android family, because I talk about Android for the family. So I talk about apps for kids. I talk about fitness apps, which fits under Pepper Scraps. I talk about products for dads, products for moms, products for kids. So it fit under my whole lifestyle of healthy family. And so when I talk about Android products, I'm not going to talk about Android products that are not going to fit under my defined categories that I already had on the blog. And that's how I would do it, is if you have a second blog, how can you take that over and merge it with the other blog and keep the overlying topic? Did you have a second blog, Crystal?
Yeah, we had Simply Experienced Life for a while, and that was what Dell was running on for a while, and then I had to merge them together.
And did you merge them?
Yes, I did.
And then you added a category, correct?
Yeah, I just made it into Dell's page, Thoughts from the Man Cave.
Okay. And so that's basically how you merge two blogs. So if you're considering having a second blog, you might want to consider, before you do that, having just a category on it.
Yeah, because when Granny Lee's Crafts came a part of Tibbet's experience, she wanted to start her own blog and have me run it too. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that again. And even Dell jumped on and said, no, we're not doing that. If you want to share crafts ideas and share craft things, then you just need to get a category on Tibbet's experience. So that's why she's on there now. And I'm glad that we didn't start her blog, because she's not physically able to post as often as she would like. She has bukus of ideas, but only she can do them because I'm not crafty enough to do them for her. So I can't sit there and do them. But she has great, great ideas. But because of her health, she can't do them like she wants to. So it would have been a waste to try to start a whole new blog for her. And that's another thing that most people want to consider, or should consider. I mean, if you start another blog, you're taking away from your blog that you have originally to do that blog. And on top of that, you might find that it's a great idea for 3 or 4 months and then not be a great idea 6 months down the road. So that's a lot of money and time invested in something that may fizzle out.
Yeah, and I think, and then another idea is, if you add that category and you do find that's taking off really, really well, and it is for someone else, if they start getting a super passion for it, they can take that and move that to a separate blog.
Right.
You can always split that category off of that blog and create a separate blog. So that, or like, say you have great content for that subject, but you decided you don't like that subject anymore, after 6 months, you could split that off into another blog and sell it.
Yeah.
Or then try to have 2 blogs. Maybe you can hire a VA now because you have enough traffic and you can have a second blog. So I wouldn't start with 2 blogs, but you can always split it. But like I said, I have not found anyone, because I even have a great blogger that I know that has an amazing blog and has amazing connections that I was even talking to yesterday. She had created a second blog and she's talking about selling it. Because she's like, I just don't feel like I don't have a passion for it anymore. And she created it 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she has tons of content on it because it's one of those kind of blogs where people submit stuff. And she has like 250 posts that she's behind on adding.
Wow. And
she has a VA doing it. So she's set at that point where she could have done 2 blogs with a VA and stuff. So honestly, I think you need to have VAs and stuff if you're going to be looking at 2 blogs. Don't you kind of feel like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm glad that certain people like to have 2 blogs and like to have VAs like me do that stuff for them. So if you want a VA, I'll gladly help you.
Yes, guys. Honestly, if you need a VA, check out Crystal. Crystal does great VA work.
What about you and your design work?
Yes, I have design work, and you guys, if you are a member of the Facebook group, you do get a discount on my design work. So make sure, and if you're looking at adding a new logo or you need something updated, or the other day I helped somebody with permalinks, just hit me up and we can talk. So, and that is one of the ways that you make money blogging.
Yeah, it connects. It all runs together.
It does. Let's see. We did have one question from the group. How to find people in your niche when it's a really specific topic. Now, I wasn't sure if she was asking about how do you find other bloggers from your topic, or how do you find readers for your topic. So should we talk about both?
Yes. I would use finding, the first thing I would suggest is go to Google search, or since I use Swagbucks, I do Swagbucks search. But anyways, I would type in the niche title. I would type in the niche that you're currently writing about, and then put in forum. That way you can join all the forums that you're interested in.
Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't even think about that. I was just, I was thinking, if you're trying to find bloggers of that niche, there's actually a blog search, isn't there, for Google?
Yeah, there's blog searches for them. You can search by the blog and the niche that you're talking about. You can also search for Facebook groups within that niche, too.
Yes, and what I would also maybe consider is figuring out some hashtags for your niche and searching on Twitter, because even if you're not finding people on Twitter that are in that niche, you should find people that are sharing blog posts with that hashtag that matches your niche. Yeah. So that's another way you could search it. So honestly, it's going to take you a lot of searching if you're looking for bloggers. Like if you're looking for building a tribe, that might be, it's just going to take you a lot of searching, and you just have to be good at search. And that's something that you could even ask in the group, don't you think, Crystal? If somebody's having trouble finding, yeah, we're happy to do searching. I don't know. I think some people are better at search than others.
Oh, I love doing it, but I also get rewards for doing it. So, well, I'm always looking for topics to search.
I don't know. For some reason, like I have people ask me a lot of questions, and I'm like, well, why don't I just search it for you? And I always find stuff, so I don't know if I'm just really good at searching. So that's something you could ask in the Facebook group.
For doing that, woman?
Huh?
Do you earn swag bucks for doing that?
Oh, I took my swag box off a while ago.
Oh wow, you shouldn't have done that.
I was earning some, but it wasn't. It was good for like Christmas money.
Yeah,
I forget why I took it off. I think because I switched computers.
Oh, I love Spybucks. That's why I always love doing searches. Hand me topics, I'll search it.
Okay, let's see. So, but what if you're trying to find readers of that niche?
That's a hard one.
I think that goes back into SEO, doesn't it?
Yeah, it goes into SEOs. And if you're in the right forums and you're interacting and answering questions, they're going to automatically go to your blog. They're going to,
But I would say don't spam the forum.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you're interacting and you're answering questions that are being asked, just have your blog in your signature. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. And it will automatically
if you're answering questions really well and concisely, then they will be like, oh, I kind of want to connect with this person, and then click it. Don't say, hey, I have an article on that, and here's the link.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
That is a big no. I do that in the Facebook group, though. Uh-oh.
Well, I do that in Twitter parties from time to time, too, but I don't do it like every Twitter party I'm in, but I do it in some.
I would say it would be a 90 to 10.
Yeah.
Like 90% just good tips and conversation, and maybe 10% of linking, if that.
Yeah, I would do more like 2 to 5%.
Okay. And then, so what would be other ways to find those people? Again, I would go to the hashtags. We had a challenge this week that would fit this. I think it's actually today's challenge, right? That to figure out your readers' problems.
Yeah, that was posted in the group.
I would say that would be a good way of finding people who need your solutions. So figure out what problems you're going to fix for people.
You still ain't in underwear.
So figure out what problems that your readers have. So my problems that my readers would have would be that they don't know how to balance healthy activities for summer. So then I would go in and tell them, okay, this is a great activity to keep your kids busy. This is a great activity to keep your kids busy, da-da-da-da-da, right? And so that's one way. So now you have those questions, those problems. Now go on to Twitter. Go on to, is it Yahoo Questions? Yahoo Ask?
Yeah.
You can go on there and start answering questions. So start searching for those people that are asking those questions, those problems. And that will find you your readers as well. Facebook groups, another place where you can start having conversations with people. Again, you have to read the rules of those groups. A lot of those you do not link. But when you have conversations with people, they want to connect with you.
And if you've done the Facebook things you told you to do where your website's showing up in your profiles, they're going to find your website.
Yes, make sure your name is consistent and that they can search for you, because that's how they're going to find you if you're not allowed to link in Facebook groups and things like that. Make sure that your URL is on your Facebook profile. I think most of the girls in our group do have that, but that is a big tip. If you are just watching us, you're not one of our group followers, make sure that you have your URL in your profile and that you have it visible. I know that a lot of people try to keep a lot of things not visible because they're afraid that people are going to find them, but you want them to find your blog. And I have so much trouble when I have people who follow me and they want to connect with me, and I'm like, why do they want to connect with me? If they have a blog in their little spot, I know instantly they want to follow me because they are a blogger. So that would be my tip, is to make sure that your URL is showing up in your Facebook profile. So, do we have any more questions?
No, but I'm still here, just letting you know.
Oh, that's fine. Let's see. Stacy said, it's a difficult one for me because I'm working on switching my topics a bit. Yes, it can be. If you're going to do the whole merge or you're switching your topics, it can be hard. I highly recommend that you really map things out before you do the switch, before you do the merge. It will help your readers not become as confused. So when I knew that I was going to be switching to lifestyle blogging, I set a date for myself and I sat down and I wrote things out, like, how am I going to do this? And a lot of the challenges in the group are going to help you with that. Like, I have that printable category, where you can define your categories, and then you can even have subcategories. But when you have those 5 to 6 categories, you have that defined niche that even if you have subcategories, they have to fit underneath there. Yes, see, Stacy had somebody who found her via her Facebook profile because she made sure that that link was in there. It's so important to make sure that you have your URL on all your profiles, guys. What do you think, Ziva?
Heads or tails?
Heads or tails? Hey, that would be an awesome URL. We now know what Ziva's blog is going to be. It's going to be heads or tails. I had such a good time, guys, yesterday watching the speakers at the Disney event. It was just amazing to hear them talking. And one of my favorites was a mom and daughter group. Well, they're 2 different bloggers. I would say that they're a mom and daughter blogging team, but they have separate blogs. That was awesome to see, because it shows that we are raising a generation that's growing up with blogging moms and how that's affecting them. And it's making them see the world in a completely different way. And I was talking to another blogger, I believe it's Stacy Nerdin, and she was talking about how her kids see the world in such a different way, that they see it as a place where their mom worked hard, created a business, created something that was outside of the box, and now they want to do that coming out of high school. So blogging is creating a really big world. It is constantly changing. Don't you feel like, Crystal, that it's constantly changing?
It's always changing. It changes daily.
And I'm really sad because some bloggers feel like it's dying, and I don't think it's dying.
No, it's not dying. It's just you got to find what's working now.
It's changing, it's evolving, and you need to evolve with it. You're always going to have the people who want to read, but video is going to become the new big thing, and you do need to get into it. And that's one reason I feel bad. I haven't been able to keep up with the YouTube challenges because I've been so busy.
I've been watching them at night because finally that's the only time I get to watch them. But I watched a lot of them last night, and they were really, really good videos. And I'm so glad to see that everybody's jumping in on board doing these YouTube challenges. And I'm curious to know if y'all are getting more traffic from these challenges, because I know I sure as I am. And I didn't expect
and I would also ask, I'd also point out that I am seeing some people who have amazing YouTube personalities.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Is it Stacy? Stacy, I think. Amazing YouTube personality. And she would never, no one would have known, right? Until this challenge.
No.
So I think that's another big thing with bloggers. You need to step outside of your comfort box.
There's another one that's doing really well too. Give me a second. They're all doing great, but usually some of the ones that really.
And guys,
they're coming to life.
What is it?
I said that it feels like they're coming to life more in their videos than they do even on your blog post. It's almost like they're not able to be. Jolene, for example, she's doing really well in her videos. But when you go to their blog posts, you don't get to see that side of their personality. I mean, it's there, but you can't see it as well.
Yes. And I'd say if you feel like you're struggling with the YouTube thing, go watch my old videos. I have videos from like 4 years ago on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Pepper Scraps. Go look at my old videos. They are horrible. But look at me now. I love video. I think I'm doing it on video. I would give myself thumbs up.
Yeah, Krista and Jennifer are awesome YouTube videos. Well, I mean, everyone's doing great with them, but we're pointing out the ones that we notice that the personalities are not what we expected to be seeing in the videos. It's really neat to see this different side of the personalities. And someone told me that blogging was dying, and I told her that I didn't understand it, since as a nursing mom, that's what I did for, many, many hours a day. She said she had gone from tons of viewers to almost none. And many bloggers are struggling from that. They're going from big page views down to hardly none. It's happening all over the place. It's not just in those niches. It's happening everywhere. Thanks for the compliment. I'm loving it and actually making it part of my schedule now. We need to talk about how to market YouTube, though, because I have no idea. We're going to get there. We're getting there. We're trying to make certain that we cover the topics to the best of our ability. That way, when we're covering the topics, we cover everything that we can during that time frame, and then we go on to the next one. And that's one of the reasons why we're trying to keep us on topic, because we do have plans to discuss everything. But don't ever hesitate to ask.
Yeah, feel free and ask. But should we talk a little bit about that? Because I know that that's been a lot of people are unsure of where we're going.
Yeah, why don't you mention what topics we have?
Yeah, should we kind of give them a heads up of like what topics we're going to be covering for the next few months?
We got 9 minutes left, so let's make it happen.
So we're going to kind of talk about some of the blogging tidbits, kind of underlying stuff. So if you're not a member of Blogging Tidbits, this is going to give you kind of a hint of the things that we have available to you. And so if you're interested in joining, we're invitation only at this point, and we are looking at trying to get a certain number of invitations before we bring in that group. So go to bloggingtidbits.com and sign up for your invitation, and make sure to invite your friends. So let me find our awesome game plan. We have the Blogging Tidbits game plan, guys. And so let's see here.
July is my favorite month so far. Not because it's just my birthday and my husband's birthday, but because we are talking about updating and troubleshooting and backing up plugins, which is a favorite topic of mine. I have too many. Themes, basic CSS, and HTML.
Yeah.
August
is content.
Landing pages, SEO, sitemaps, photography, getting ready for the holidays, which you wouldn't believe how much you have to do in August to be ready for that. And that's going to be a very heavy month for all of us. September, we're going into kinds of monetization. We're going to be breaking it down, showing you which options are available to you. One of the ladies, can't remember the name off the top of my head, I think it's Jennifer. Yeah, it's Jennifer. She mentioned in her video that it has mixed feelings about monetization. There are so many different ways to make money with the blog. It's not just limited to sponsor posts or promoting products, and we're going to cover that in September in full detail. You may have to take over talking because somebody won't stop whining.
Okay, so we were at September. October, we're going to be talking about community. So we are going to be talking about like attending conferences, building your tribe, and also mentoring other bloggers. I think once you get to that point in October, I hope that you be embracing other bloggers, because that's a hard subject, because I feel like there's the bloggers out there that feel like they're in their own circle and they don't want to branch out to other bloggers, but then there's bloggers that love to connect with other bloggers. And we hope to create bloggers who love connecting with other bloggers and would consider mentoring other bloggers. We're also going to talk about link ups and roundups, so like basically featuring other bloggers. And then we'll be back in November. We'll be back into branding. So again, we'll be focusing on branding again a little bit. And the reason we're going to be kind of circling through this is because blogging is constantly changing. We feel like that as we go through these different focuses, that by the time we get 6 months down the road, things will have changed a little bit. You may have updated your blog. We may want to look at it again and say, okay, how can we change this? How can we make it even better? And so that we'll start cycling through everything again. So we'll be going through branding and technical WordPress and all that kind of stuff again.
And on top of that, if you've already gone through our challenges with us, you can help the new members who haven't done it, number one. Number two, you're also going to get more advanced stuff that we haven't already covered for the more advanced bloggers that are already done the steps that we've done and now want to go even further to the next level. So
yes, because blogging is a constantly growing and evolving, and you need to be constantly learning and evolving and growing with it. There's a lot of people who tell you out there, if you say that you know everything in a subject, then you don't know everything. There's no way of knowing everything. You're constantly learning. Doctors are constantly learning. You know, teachers are constantly learning. There's always more learning that you can do. And so we want to make sure that you are constantly learning with us. And that's what's going to be different than for us being a member of Blogging Tidbits and finding a blogging course. We will be growing with you. Is that right?
Yep.
Did I hit that on the nose?
Yes, you did.
Okay, guys. I had fun. Did you have fun?
Yes, I did. In between juggling Ziva.
But I
think she did pretty good. Yes.
If you guys have questions and you're watching a replay, make sure and still ask them. We're happy to answer questions. We come back and we'll go through them and answer them. So feel free and still ask questions. If we didn't really clarify something, we're happy to clarify it more for you. Or if you even have specific questions for your blog, we're happy to do it for you too. And again, I am Pepper from Pepper Scraps.
And I am Crystal from tidbitsofexperience.com.
And we are the Blogging Tidbits team, and you can find Blogging Tidbits at bloggingtidbits.com. So I hope you guys have an awesome day, and we will see you later.
Alrighty. Bye.